Want to know the 5 principles you should focus on to help you with your educational goals? Watch this video, and if you find value, share and click the subscribe button below. Hello, my name is Christopher Houston, and today I want to discuss the 5 principles I focused on to help me with my educational choices. The first principle is your attitude toward education. You must believe education can help you succeed. It's funny, when someone tells me about a successful person that didn't graduate college as a reason for them to skip college, I always say, I bet that successful person encouraged their children to go to college. According to the data from the U.S. Bureau of Labor and Statistics, a person with a bachelor's degree earns twice as much as someone with just a high school diploma. We have to have the attitude that going to college or gaining knowledge will help you succeed. Not just financially, but people who are continual learners have better health, critical thinking skills, and greater sense of self-discipline. A person's attitude toward education is important. My daughter came home one day after school and told me that her math teacher told them in class that it was okay to take a gap year. I said, wait, what? I asked, did he say that in front of the class? She said, yeah. I said, okay, cool. I'm going up there tomorrow and I'm going to ask him, is he independently wealthy? Because he's going to have to pay for that year that all of these students are taking off during their gap year. She knew I was serious, so she talked me out of going up to the school. Gap year, give me a break. He needed to have his attitude adjusted. Next is who you hang around. Associate yourself with other individuals that are focused on education and personal development. Jim Rohn was quoted as saying, "You are the sum of the 5 people you hang around the most." Both my wife and I have our education, and we tell our children that education is important. My daughter starts the 9th grade this year. We have taken my daughter to several graduation ceremonies. You see, several of our friends have children who have graduated college, and my daughter sees that. My oldest son went into the Air Force. He's in the cybersecurity field and completed several certifications and is working toward his bachelor's degree today. This week, my daughter came into my office and started a conversation about high school courses that would give her the best chance to succeed in college. But more importantly, we talked about what were her interests. What can she see herself doing in the future? She wants to go into the Air Force Academy. She understands that to get into that school, she will have to have good grades as well as endorsements from prominent people. She also understands that starting your career in the Air Force will give you a good chance at success. Most of the kids she hangs with all talk about going to college. During the entire 8th grade, they were talking about which high school would give them the best chance to succeed in college. Now let's talk about your next principle. Finances. You have to do the math. There are 2 sets of math problems you need to consider and understand. The 2 things you need to understand are paying for your college education and salary after getting your education. Or we can call it return on investment. The first is paying for your education. There are a myriad of ways to pay for your education. Before taking on a school loan, if you already are working, look at your company's tuition reimbursement program. The military paid for my education through the GI Bill and the post 9/11 GI Bill. Even when I worked for a large defense contractor, they offered a program that would pay $15,000 per year. I guarantee you that in every state, there are colleges where $15,000 per year will definitely go a long way. The agency I work for now just started a new program where they will pay for $5,000 per year towards your degree. Let's say you put another $5,000 with that per year. That's $10,000 per year. That's enough to really get you going towards your degree. Now here's the other math problem that must be done whether you decide to take out school loans or receive some type of tuition assistance. That math problem deals with what's the growth potential of that field, meaning does the marketplace need that skill? Also, think about what does the occupation pay relative to how much you are going to spend on your education. A good place to look is the U.S. Bureau of Labor and Statistics Occupational Outlook Handbook. I will leave this link in the description below. On this site, it will tell you the median pay for a particular job, as well as the typical entry-level education for that position, the work experience, the number of jobs available, job outlook for the next 10 years, and state and area data. The state and area data will show you detailed information about a particular job group and occupation. This means that you may not be able to live exactly where you want right after getting out of college. You may have to go to where the jobs are first, then get the experience, build up your resume and worth in the marketplace. Then there may be opportunities in places where you want to live. This is valuable information when looking at a career. This analysis should be done before you pick your major, not after you have graduated. I like solving problems, so I went into the information technology field. Therefore, my associate's degree, my bachelor's, and first master's degrees were all dealing with electronics and information technology. When I got the opportunity to go back to school, I selected an MBA because that would help me round out my skill set. You see, there are a lot of smart individuals that understand information technology. However, the list gets shorter when it comes to IT professionals that understand the business aspect of the profession. I still had some time left on my post 9/11 GI Bill, so me and some of my friends got together and debated on our next master's degree. We narrowed it down to a master's in education or a master's in project management. We all did our analysis and got together and decided that the project management master's degree would be the best option. Quick story about that. We wanted to take classes on campus and not online. So I asked for a meeting with the dean and asked about taking all of the project management courses on campus. He said it was dependent on student enrollment. He went on to say that some of the classes would have to be online because in the past, there were only a few people requesting those classes. I asked, well, how many students would need to be in the class to hold it on campus? He said a minimum of 6. I said, okay, that's doable. He looked at me funny as I left the meeting. I'm sure he was thinking, there's no way you're going to get 6 people to enroll in just a few weeks. 2 weeks later, we had 7 people ready to enroll in the program, and we all agreed to take the classes on Saturday mornings. So we all went to school every Saturday until the degree was completed. The funny part about it is that once other students found out there was classes every Saturday, there were always other students that joined in. My master's in project management is probably the most valuable because I can use it in all of my fields. The next principle is to know your worth and, more importantly, the worth of your skills in the marketplace. A lot of times we think the degree gets us a higher salary. Getting a degree tells an employer that you have the capability to bring value to a position. It's not a ticket to a higher salary. When I was in school getting my MBA, we were in our last class, so everyone was excited about graduation. During one of the breaks, we all returned to the classroom and started talking about what happens after graduation. Some said they were going to apply for higher level jobs. Some said this may open up promotion potential in their present company. I just sat there and listened until I heard someone say, I'm going to go into my boss's office and ask for a raise right after graduation. I said, wow, that's fascinating. I have a few questions though. Over the past 5 years, has your company's revenue increased or decreased? The person said, I don't know. I said, have you put any processes in place that have made a program more efficient or effective? He said, not really. I said, okay, one last question. If you owned your own business and your company was losing money and one of your employees came into your office and asked for a raise for basically showing up every day, what would you say? The room got silent. I said, you get paid for the value you bring, not for the degree. Degree does not equal higher salary. Degree plus knowledge, plus wisdom, plus hard work, plus the value you bring equals a higher salary. Lastly is personal development. Know yourself and become a continual learner. Education is not just completing your college degrees. Education helps you gain wisdom. The definition of wisdom is the quality of having experience, knowledge, and good judgment. I believe education gets you on the path to knowledge. Wisdom is the result of applying that knowledge. In my opinion, personal development is continually perfecting the knowledge you have gained. Completing your education is just the start of personal development. People have asked me in the past, was completing your master's degrees hard? I always say, no, not really. The hardest thing is performing after you complete your degree. When you tell someone you have an advanced degree, they are expecting you to perform at a certain level. Luckily, my standards are higher than anyone's expectations of me, and I never apologize for having high standards. People who really want to be in your life will raise up to meet them. In this talk, we discussed the 5 principles we should consider when thinking about education. We talked about your attitude, who you are around, finances, and return on investment. We talked about knowing your worth, and finally, continued personal development. You want to set high standards. I hope you found value in this video. If you did, please share and subscribe. My name is Christopher Houston. Thank you very much. Good night and God bless.